What is up, guys? Cole aka Proximitty here, bringing you a brand new video today. It is the newest Real Talk, part of the ever so popular series on my channel that you guys seem to really enjoy. And today, I have a very special topic, and this is something that's really awesome for me to talk about, really hard for me to talk about at the same time. It's really emotional for me, but basically, the theme is perseverance and the grind. Keeping at something that you really want and eventually getting there. As you can see here, this currently gameplay you're watching, you're probably like, what is this? So this is from my very first stream back in 2013. And you can see the quality's awful and all that. Like, nobody was watching me, of course, but this is like seeing where I came from to where I am now. And yeah, I've been doing this for a very long time, and it's been quite a journey. I remember back here when I was doing this stream, I didn't know how to make graphics. I didn't know how to do basically anything. I didn't know what it meant to be a good streamer. I didn't know how to like interact with the chat and do everything properly. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes wouldn't even have my chat up, you know, like I was just a bad streamer. And then later on, I ended up making my own graphics, but I didn't understand how to make like a PNG, which has like transparency in the image and stuff. So I made like tiny rectangles, and I put those all across the screen, and it just looked terrible. Like it just looked really bad. The stream quality wasn't great. I had like a box fan going on in my room, which picked up on the mic, and it sounded awful. And there's no wonder why nobody watched. It makes perfect sense to me. But it's all about that journey, you know. And now, if you haven't heard already, my stream has grown to the point where now I am going to be partnered on Twitch. I've actually officially been accepted as a Twitch partner. And at the time of recording this, I'm still waiting for my sub button to go live. But that's going to be very soon, and that's extremely exciting. And it's actually funny, when I went back to that, when I started in 2013, I was living at my dad's house with my dad and my stepmom, and I remember, you know, wanting to start streaming. It was the first time I had like this crappy laptop, and the internet was just fast enough, and I've always wanted to start streaming. And I had some money in my savings from working through high school and stuff, and I took out some of my money and went and bought an Elgato and started streaming because it was always like a big dream of mine. And my dad's, you guys gotta understand, my dad was never somebody who was like trying to discourage me. He never would tell me like, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. But at this time, like here, he was like, it's a waste of money. It's a bad idea. You know, you're not gonna make it. Nobody's gonna watch and all that. And he wasn't trying to be like super like, I don't know, he wasn't trying to tell me like I'm not good enough or nobody would want to watch me. He just understood, like, or I think he just was like, it's too much of a pipe dream to get like people to watch, that sort of thing. Like, it's too difficult to make it happen. Not because like I'm not appealing enough or whatever, but like, if that makes sense. He wasn't like, you're not good enough, son. It was more like, that's too hard. That's basically what he was saying. But he was yeah, he was just like, it's not gonna work. You need to go. And I didn't have a job. I just got back from my first year of college, and I didn't want to go back. And I did have a job, which I had just left, which is a whole other story for a whole different time. Basically, I ended up moving into my dad's house, and then I started doing that. So I just moved there, and yeah, I wanted to, you know, start streaming. And you know, he was like, you need to go start looking for a job and all that. And I was like, Dad, just give me 2 months. I remember asking like trying to get like 2 months. I was like, give me 2 months, see if I can't make something happen with this. And eventually, with a bunch of back and forth, he agreed. And I was like, yeah. So basically, he's just like, I'm going to leave you alone for 2 months. You live here free, all that nonsense. And it didn't go well at all, as you can imagine. I didn't put in the amount of effort I needed to. I could act like I gave it my all, and it didn't work out. But that wasn't the case. I'm not saying that if I did give it my all, it would have worked out. But I certainly did it. And that's an important part of this, because eventually, you know, it's taken me 4 years to get where I am now, basically, but it's a process. You know, I learned as I went on that the more effort I put into it, the better results I got. And like, I had a lot of back and forth with streaming and YouTube and gaming stuff like that. Like, there would be hot streaks where I'd be on it for months, and then I'd be off of it for months. And at one point, it took like a whole year break almost. So yeah, you know, there were times where I was really passionate about it and motivated, and then I lost motivation and I would slow down, until I eventually really found some success in 2015. Then I kind of carried that on until now. But yeah, it was a terrible time. My stream didn't go well. And I ended up, you know, pushing forward to where I am now through that. And, you know, now my dad's super excited for me, and he's always really supportive. So it's not like my dad's a dick. But basically, you know, I like, the point is that if you want something bad enough, if you want to get somewhere with it, it's always worth going back to it, always worth pushing for. I knew this was something that I was passionate about. I knew something I wanted. And it was just really a matter to me, I think, of finding the right mindset. And I finally did that in the summer of 2015. I made this channel August 31st, and it didn't really pop off till like November when Halo 5 came out. Then I started gaining a lot of traction, but it's been insane. The ride's been insane. I've met so many new people. There's so many people that I used to watch that I'm now friends with and I talk with on a daily basis, and it's so cool. It's insane, but it makes me emotional to think about, because I think of the times when I was just starting out and I was just this like awful streamer, but I was just this kid with a dream, and I could have done better. I definitely could have done better then, but I think it's important that I started then and I always push through. So if you're in the similar position as to what I'm describing, or where I was, and you want to get to where I am, definitely don't hesitate. Don't worry about waiting to have all the professional equipment. As you can see, I didn't. It's not necessary. Up until I almost had 10,000 subscribers, all my videos were 720p 30 fps. So it's not at all necessary to have the best equipment, to have all the nice stuff. And I think that's a lot of excuses that people constantly give themselves. If you can make it happen, and you're gonna learn a lot along the way. I know that I learned a lot of clever ways to get stuff done without nice equipment. I made myself an overlay even when I didn't know how to properly do any sort of form of graphic design. It may not have been the best, but it was an overlay. You can get there, is my point. And it's fun when I finally made it to where I am now, and I'm finally getting partnered 4 years later, and my stream is actually something that pulls a good amount of viewers and people enjoy watching, and I love streaming. It makes it all the better that I can look back to where I was to where I am now. It makes the journey so much more beautiful to me, and it makes just all the memories great, and it makes me emotional. But I don't know, it's something I'm really proud of. Thank you to everybody that's come out and watched the stream and followed. If you haven't already, please be sure to. The link will be in the description below, of course. But yeah, it means a lot. I couldn't be here without you guys. Thank you so much. I hope this was a cool little thing for you guys to check out. You could see how hard of a time it was, or what kind of journey it was for me. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Like I said, it's a little hard one for me to talk about, but I don't know. I'll catch you guys later.